And welcome to another episode, a special episode of the In 90 Minutes podcast. Um, we have our whole crew with us here tonight, but David just dropped off for a minute. He's having some internet issues. So I'm your host, Ahmed Salim, and the whole crew's here with us tonight. John, Misael, and David when he gets on. How's everybody doing at this Leagues Cup edition of the In 90 Minutes podcast? How you all doing tonight?
Good, good,
All
good.
right.
All right. So we are in the midst of the Leagues Cup. Orlando City has played two matches. We have one win, one draw. We find ourselves with, I don't know what, 4 points with a whole bunch of other teams. Um, are we out of it? Are we not? I don't think we're out of it yet, but we'll talk about that a little bit more. Um, for those of you watching us, thank you for being with us as usual. If you are a regular watcher, we are assuming you're already subscribing. If not, please follow, like, and subscribe all our socials. We are on pretty much every major platform: Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Blue Sky, as at in 90 Minutes Podcast. And you can always watch us live Mondays on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch as at in 90 Minutes Podcast. Woo! I gotta get used to saying that's a mouthful. All right. So before we get to the first team stuff, what do we have to talk about as far as the league goes, gents? Anything?
We can start the league, not really, other than what's coming up on Sunday. And everybody knew, we all called it. Every Orlando City fan probably called it. But Messi came down with an injury a week before he has to play in Orlando and ducking out again because he can't face the
I can't even hate on the timing of that. I mean, even if it's not on purpose, which the majority of us do believe that it was just way too coincidental, right?
Classic timing, classic Messi.
Seriously, you could not say that any better.
It looks like a little bump too.
Oh, does it? I didn't see. I haven't seen it. The only reason I know is because of what you all told me. So
Yeah, he tried to go in between two guys and he basically got tripped up and he hit the floor and he says like that was it. He started calling for the trainers like, I need
wow.
some help out
Oh,
here. They
that's right.
sprayed him.
I did see the collision. It wasn't any. It didn't look like anything major. So
No, it was
we'll see.
regular tackle. Like you said, the timing.
Yeah, it was just very, very. I don't know. I mean, listen. This is what his second season in the MLS.
third, well, 2.5.
He's yet to play one match here.
Yeah, rumor is supposedly he's probably going to sign an extension till 2028. So we'll see if he actually does do that. How long can he dodge us for?
Well, that's been the rumor for months now, and they keep reporting that he's not happy.
I mean, geez, they're giving him all his friends. How much? I mean, what more does he want?
I don't know, man.
There, David.
I am back.
Welcome, Mr.
Yes.
Valentin.
Every week we have something. Right before we were about to go on, I heard thunder and flash of light, and half my house is rebooting. So there you have it. Um, Obviously, you guys already said your pleasantries. I just want to add happy birthday to the fifth member of the podcast. Ivy is 2 years old
Oh,
today.
happy birthday!
Yes,
Happy
so
birthday, nice.
she's
The
running
best
somewhere
stage.
around.
The best
Yeah.
stage.
No, I know. That
Terrible
3 more years
twos.
before kindergarten, and me stopping to basically send a fortune in daycare, out of my bank account. But yeah, so we just had a little cake for her and doing good. What were you guys talking about? So I can go ahead and jump in.
Well, we were just starting to talk about the he who shall not be named. How he is conveniently not going to uh, be playing anytime soon, at least for the next 15.
Yeah, for those that did not manage to sell your tickets, too bad, so sad. This year we don't get to scam people, me included. That's it. I'm sorry, running away from from playing in major U.S. city and the Florida Derby. I mean, it's proven that this guy doesn't care. Doesn't really care. After our game, I watched their Leagues Cup game.
Hmm.
I mean, those dudes, those Barca boys, really, 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 really make themselves unlikable. I mean, I have never seen six more punchable faces than those. Jordi Alba, I got, I'm letting you know now. When you walk into that stadium next Sunday, I'm going to make you feel the pain of my ancestors. I'm gonna take it on you. You're gonna feel the
Oh
pain.
my God,
I'm
Dave.
not gonna let off. I'm telling you, what a jerk. And last year, you should have seen him running after the ref at the end when Atlanta eliminated them. He looked like a little schoolboy that just found out that there was a pop quiz. It was ridiculous. And I gotta say this, as an Orlando City fan, this that Sunday, that's when you need to beat them to a pulp. Okay, that's when you go and you beat them to a pulp. Today, some guy was trying to argue with me on X. By the way, I have an account. Find me, and we'll have fun. And I like which is ridiculous. I'm like, just at work waiting on something, and this guy decides to tell me that Leagues Cup is better than Open Cup. I'm like, are you on drugs? Are you on drugs? And then he's like, "Oh well, the reason why they're always gonna say that is because they laid an egg at home, and and they want and leaks. Messi was gifted Leagues Cup. Everybody knows that. The whole world knows that. And so they can cope with that. We just gotta go beat them and destroy them. Um, just because
We'll talk about the match later.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. Let's cover the OCB and then the Pride first. Some Pride news came out today as well. But OCB played last night. Lost 4-1. It's a lot of young guys. Same story we've said the last couple weeks, and they, it's obvious they're missing Typhy and Thomas Williams on the back line. A lot of the OCB is going through a lot of growing pains right now. And did any of you guys catch the match last night? I watched most of it until it was out of hand, basically.
I did not.
I didn't either.
Yeah, they just
Yeah, I didn't get the chance. I had things going on by the time I got to tune in. Hey, by the time I got to tune in, it was way out of hand for them.
it was a tough watch. I'll just leave it at that. Tough watch. But they do play again this Saturday, August 9th. It's another home match against Chattanooga, 7 p.m. If anybody can show up, show up. I know we got, it's a little flip flopped. Usually the senior team plays on Saturday, and then Orlando City B plays on Sunday. A little flip flop this weekend, and they they are playing on Saturday before the senior team.
Okay.
And we'll move on to the Pride. Misael's specific specialty, if you want to take it away, Misael.
Yeah, not much. Here, finally back after I believe it was 2 months. Came back home, played the Royals. They started off hot and they scored in the 5th minute. That's Utah, it is. And we didn't score till the 72nd. There was a weather delay, of course.
Hmm.
It wouldn't be a night in Florida without a weather delay.
Especially a summer game,
Uh, but yeah, Good game. Most of it. I only from what I saw. I'll be honest. I only saw the highlights of it. Um, got the equalizer in the 72nd minute. Um, to end in a draw. The news you said. Ali Watt. She is going to the new team. By the way, yeah, NWSL got a new team. Denver Summit FC. They will enter the league next season, 2026, and our beloved Ali Watt. She will be going over there. She's staying with us on loan for the rest of the 2025 season, and that'll be it. We play again this Saturday versus Racing Louisville FC, 7:30 here at home. If you can make it, go up, give the girls some support.
All right. Anything else, gentlemen, that we need to discuss before we jump headfirst into an empty pool?
Yeah, just go with a little club news here, David. And the price increase.
Ooh.
Yes, thank you for that, John. Well, not thank you, but thank you. Yeah, so for those of you who are season ticket holders, you probably did receive an email from your ticket rep. I hope you were sitting down when you did see it, because it gave you your new rates for the upcoming season. And as I would guess to say, as expected, the prices of the tickets are going up. I don't know if the increases were the same rates across the board. It would be interesting to see that for sure. Do you know, John, by any chance?
Mine went up for 2 tickets. Went up less than $1 a month.
Yeah, mine went up.
I don't pay attention to the full price because I do the monthly.
Yeah,
thing, so
me too.
I mean, everybody does, brother. I mean, unless you are really rich.
Yeah.
Mine
No,
went
I'm
100
sorry.
bucks.
I'm sorry. Mine went up. I think mine was 55 and change for 2 supporter section tickets. And then it actually went up a little less than $3. So mine's 58.33 a month now for 2 tickets.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, just to let everybody know, it changed at some point this season. That the now anybody 3 and older needs tickets that used to be under the age of 5. Now it's 3 and older, so we weren't really planning on having to buy tickets for a package for Barrett, but we do now because he's of that age, and they really should, especially for the supporter section. I feel because it is a standing room only, and there is a bunch of kids in the supporter section, or maybe just all through the stadium for the season ticket packages. Probably should start to offer kids pack, and it's a specific ticket for that kid. If you try to scan in and it's adult, the security knows not to let them through. It's I think something that they should look forward to. If just look at X. I peeked at X before we came on, and the number of people that are saying they're now priced out of their season tickets is astounding. Should be
Really?
a clear message. Oh yeah, I mean the first 4 or 5 posts that I saw that were Orlando City based were people saying that they were priced out. They were going to have to cancel their season tickets. I had already on Friday. Sent an email to my rep about canceling my season tickets because I'm tired. We're getting left in the dust as an organization. As far as transfers, as far as David and I talked for my whole ride to the stadium basically Saturday about it. We're just getting absolutely left in the dust. You look at what Miami's doing, you look at what LA's done, you look at what Cincinnati did in the off season. You look at who Montreal bringing Mueller in.
Yeah.
You look at what other clubs have done this transfer window so far, and then we bring in a player that's
I
which,
already know where you're going.
yeah, a player that couldn't even make the field every match for one of the worst clubs in the East. And
Listen,
it's like,
John, it's all a part of the bigger plan. We just don't see
That's
the
why
big picture. We just
that's
don't
the
see the
price
big picture,
increase.
man.
Trust
We
the
That's
just
the
don't
price
see
process.
it.
increase. We got to pay this guy.
So back to the price increases for a
yes,
second, because
sorry.
I think it's important to kind of talk about it, right? So they did make some changes though to the member benefits, right? And it's funny because I was just talking to a friend of mine because I'm thinking of reducing the number of seats I have because my daughters don't always go to the games anymore, so I'm looking forward to that savings. So you have your MLS season pass, you have your food and beverage discount, you have your merchandise discount, and I was like, oh, I was telling him we have the Leagues Cup matches. Well, guess what, my friends?
I see that.
The
Yeah.
Leagues Cup, where right now we had all the preliminary rounds of stage one, we have the first Leagues Cup match. So if you just to give you an idea, these three matches that we had tickets to as season ticket holders, you now only have to the first ticket, which I find interesting because I only saw that on the website. The email didn't even mention the Leagues Cup. And then you get you
But
ready for
one
this?
big
And
thing,
I
are
feel
you
like
saying
they're listening.
the big
I feel
thing?
like they've been listening to us because you get every single OCB match.
Home match. Yeah.
Home. Assuming obviously they're not going to give you the away ones, so you're getting tickets to every single
So
OCB
next
home
year you get
game,
every single OCV.
every
Yes.
single home
All OTB
OCB
home
game,
matches. Yeah.
and
Okay.
the Orlando Pride home opener.
Yep.
Oh, not
So
bad.
and you also get the U.S. Open Cup as long as it's a non-semifinal or final match will be included.
Very nice.
So
Well,
and that's in addition to obviously any barbecues, happy hours, all those fun things they do
right,
for
all those
season ticket
things that
holders. Yeah,
because to be honest with you, the main issue that we had in years past was the prices were going up and we were not getting any events. I mean, at the end of the day, there was no difference between a regular fan and a season ticket holder. And since we're talking about this, for those playing the David Valentin bingo, uh, go ahead and start preparing your shots because Stevenage FC, the club that I follow in England, just released their season ticket package. Okay, first of all, for the season season tick for every season ticket, you get the new home shirt for that season because every year they get new jerseys. So you for your ticket you get a new jersey, and these are the prices. If you are on the standing section, which is their version of the wall, which is called the East Terrace, for an adult is £15 and 65 pence. And for a U18 is £8 26 pence. And if you're under 12, is £4 13 pence. Obviously, this value is if the child is with an adult. So basically, if you are there by yourself, it's 15 quid plus four quid for the kid. Okay, and then the most expensive ticket there is £20 for the west side, which the west side is just like ours. It's the shaded area, it's the fancy side, and 1065 for under 18 and 609 for under 12 with an adult. But the advantage here is that rather than giving their supporters a scarf that nobody asked for and in a plastic bag that looks like it was picked at a Dollar General. In fact, the lately I told this to my rep. He knows. Paulo, you know that I'm saying the truth here when I say this. That I told him, I said, look, the past 3-4 years, it looks like somebody went through the floor of a Dollar Tree and started picking out random items off the floor and put them in a bag, and that's where basically what we're getting. If you look at the 20, I promise you guys this in next show, I'm gonna show you our 2019 season ticket holder gift, and you tell me if that quality is what you are getting, what you got last year.
Well, at
Uh,
least this next year, David, not to cut you off, but at
yeah,
least
brother.
this next year, they already set the expectation pretty low because now it's just a season ticket member scarf. It's not a gift package or
Why
whatever.
are we getting
So
nobody? Listen, we live in Florida.
you know what? Every time I see the bobblehead, I think about this conversation. I'm sorry. When they had the Pedro Galese bobblehead, this
Yes.
conversation is what came to mind. So maybe this time next year, when we're talking about the season ticket renewal, there will be a bobblehead in there because obviously I feel like the OCB thing, we talked about this all along. And honestly, I think that's a great perk. I would rather a full season of OCB games than the three leagues cup matches.
Yep.
Honestly. You know?
I think
Absolutely.
that
So hands
literally
down,
when I
I'd
saw
rather
that
go back into the club than somewhere else.
when I saw that come through earlier today, that literally made me reconsider
Yeah.
because
So now,
that's something that especially since we moved up to the Apopka area, that we've had to stop doing because it's not just a 20-minute little jaunt over to
Both and
Osceola
gas.
Heritage Park. It's now half hour, 45 minutes depending on traffic and one way, and then you have to buy the ticket, and it's just a lot. Whereas if we have the ticket, we're probably going to go to more OCB matches now, and that
mhm, yeah,
adds a lot of value to the season ticket, to being a season ticket member.
yeah. So now I'm gonna throw a whole new wrench into the mix. When David was talking about Stevenage and them offering the jersey, it reminded me of a conversation I had with my ticket rep, not this past season signing my tickets, the one before, right? I had gotten a package, an email right after I had renewed my season tickets about Pride season tickets. Have any of you ever looked at the Pride season ticket prices compared to the first team? Okay. Needless to say, they're a fraction of the price. But I'm going to tell you the highest level package. I'm not going to tell you the number, and you can just guess. The highest level package includes, actually, no, I'll go with the lowest level package, right? It includes two full season tickets, 20 group tickets, and then two jerseys, two season
20 group
tickets.
tickets. What does that mean?
Like if because it's supposed to be like a corporate package, so you have like a group. You
Oh,
could bring a group of friends to one match, basically,
okay.
right?
All right.
Basically, two season tickets and two jerseys, so they can do it. They have the mindset, right? Because the jerseys, they cost them. You know what the markup on those things must be? Like, let's be honest. How much do you think that was for the Pride two season tickets and two jerseys? Forget about the 20 group tickets.
Where are you sitting?
It doesn't say.
500.
780, but they were selling it for 500. Yeah, they now the biggest one. Get this right. 6 season tickets, 6 jerseys, and for one game, a 14-person suite
Nice.
for $3,000. Six,
Wow.
Bro,
six.
you were paying more than that at Seawolves, having
Yes, right.
the suite. Remember?
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
get out of here.
But the reason I'm bringing it up is because it popped in my head when David said about the jersey, because they have it. They have it there for the season tickets. So it's not a matter of them not realizing it's something they can do. They know it's something they can do, but you know what it is? They want to
Well,
make money off of it. Let's
well,
be
they
honest.
do. They're going to draw people in. They're not going to do that for however many season ticket holders is for the men's
Yeah,
team.
no, I know. And I'm not saying it should be the same thing. And it could even be a replica. It could be a t-shirt. It's not the point. The point isn't what the product is. It's
Yeah.
not, like what we've been talking about. It's just sorry.
I
I'll
mean,
step off my soapbox now.
I don't even
And
care.
and they won a championship, and they're still doing that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying I don't even care about a gift. It's like have the stuff at the gate, you know, be available to more people. Like the supporter section never gets it. You have to go over to
They're afraid you're gonna throw it, John.
probably. You have to go over to gate A and get, but like it's a towel or like the boomsticks or whatever. When we won the U.S. Open Cup, there's no reason they couldn't have had, you could throw these, but the rings, for everybody. Cheap metal rings. I still have. No, I didn't get them. My parents got them, but I still have in my possession in my collection box, um, the 1990 World Series championship ring that they gave out as you know for going to one of the games for the Reds. Still have that. Still have that little keepsake. This stuff that what they need to realize is people like us, the majority, I like to think the majority of people who get the season tickets want something that they can keep as a as a keepsake for that season. I'm sorry, a scarf isn't it. Scarf takes up too much room. You can't, you ball it up. Something, a team photo doesn't even have to be signed. A team photo. Then you have the events. You bring that team photo to the events. The players sign it. Something like that. David's brought up, like scrapbook from the season prior, to know, hey, this is what happened this season. Maybe do it at the end of the season for the season ticket members instead of at the beginning and do the scrapbook. Something like that. Something that's a keepsake for that season that that you had your season tickets.
And
Not that
John, we already have a talented team photographer.
very talented, very
Very
talented
talented.
social media guy too. I might add. I've been, not to knock on the previous guy that was there, but I really enjoy what
I'm
the guy
knocking on the
does.
previous guy.
I know you are.
I
But
mean, I'd even pay for it. The last championship now that Columbus Crew won, they sold. They were selling the MLS Cup, championship ring, a replica for $30.
yeah, no, ours was what, 400 and something, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
It's
seriously,
like,
Guys,
why?
do you remember? Do you remember on our first playoff game, which was against New York City? They gave out like these passes. It was like a badge that you put on, like
Yeah,
if you were at
I
a
still have it.
concert. I still have
Yeah,
it. I still have mine.
yeah, me too. It's
And
awesome.
that was a fantastic way to remember that day by our first playoff game, and this is who we played, and all that. And like we have said before, you can say whatever you want about Alex Leitao, but Alex Leitao didn't have the money that they have now. But Alex Leitao knew football, and the season ticket gift and all the other stuff. They spoke to the people, and I think that that's where we are missing out. The scarf, if anybody in the team is listening, the scarf, while may seem cool, I'm sorry, it's not a practical thing. That's why I never give scarves to friends outside of Orlando. As like if they want something from Orlando, I send them a hat. I send them a keychain, something like that. That is practical. The scarves are not practical.
yeah.
No one,
The bucket hats. The
right? The
Publix bucket hat.
hat,
I've been trying to steal my son's bucket hat. His
which
Publix
is
bucket
so
hat.
emblematic. I have one that I created myself because I couldn't find one at the team store. I actually like put a bunch of patches, bought a patch, the badge. The fact is, guys, is that let's stop with this nonsense. We lived in one of the hottest places on earth. Before I became an Orlando City supporter, I had one scarf that I had for like 10 years. One. I right now between the three teams that I follow, I have like 45 of them. Let's stop with the nonsense. I don't want to see a scarf. Give me something. Like John said, let's have something to remember the season by, the player by, something like that. And you know what? I have to give it up to Atlanta. I'm sorry, guys. But the fact is that they understood their fan base, and they will give them like when Joseph Martinez was there, they got like a little statue of him, things like that. The fans just want to have a connection to the club. They don't want scarves are just gonna sit in somebody's underwear drawer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're right.
Real quick before we move on, a funny story. I don't think I've ever told it on here about the first playoff game. I couldn't make it because I was working. I think I picked that Saturday up, not realizing. And it was before I had season tickets. And of course, there was, COVID still. So it was limited entry anyway. But I had to work down in South Florida. I had a job at 11 o'clock and didn't have another one until like 3. Because wasn't it like a 2 p.m. kick or something like that? Do you guys remember?
No.
I can't remember.
12:30.
It was 12:30. Okay, yeah. So my next appointment must have been at 2 then. Um, so I get done with my first appointment, go try to do the second one early so I can listen to the match on the way home and hopefully catch the end of it on TV. But the people never picked up, so I'm sitting in a random strip mall parking lot with my phone and my steering wheel and the AC on, watching it on the phone with my dad. Then it gets time to go to the appointment. I do the appointment real quick, get to where I had to go on the roof, and told the person I had to catch a meeting because this was right when it was going in the extra time. Told them I had a meeting to get into. I might be gone like a half hour to an hour. Ended up being like an hour and a half because of the catastrophe that happened and the penalties. And then was going absolutely bizarre. If the people walked out and heard me during one of my screams for the, either the Schlegel save or when we finally won it, they would have probably thought I was getting fired or something. But I'll never forget that day because of, not only because of the win, but because of how I, consumed the match.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah. So to round that up, if you're going to screw me over by raising my season tickets, give me something of value. I'll tell you what, when teams win, when teams are taking care of their people, let's remember, Chick-fil-A and KFC are in the same business, selling chicken, but one is seen better than the other. Why is that? It's because of the experience. It's the experience, the employees, the stores, the cleanliness, etc., etc., etc. Right? That's how it is, guys. And I'm not here to teach you customer service, but at the same time, your fan base is already telling you what they like. And if you're not willing to listen, then eventually people are gonna vote with the two things that are more precious to people: time and money. That's how it is.
That
Not to
Chick-fil-A.
jump ahead. Oh, sorry, Miss Io. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say something stupid. I was gonna say that Chick-fil-A. You pull up to the window, they got your food ready before you even hand them the card.
Yep. But I will say we do know they listen. This is kind of jumping ahead a little bit. Ahmed, you were at the match Saturday, right?
Yeah, I was at both.
Yeah. Did you realize what they played pre-kickoff?
Yeah, Seven Nation Army,
Yep.
and
So
somebody had
there's a
posted
big,
about it.
yeah, there's a big thing on X. I think it was happened just on Friday, maybe later on Thursday, where one of the Orlando City fans, said, "I wish they'd bring this back," and it, caught fire.
Yeah.
In the Orlando City community on social media. And sure enough, Saturday, right before kickoff, they're playing Seven Nation Army.
And honestly, you
Like
know
they
what,
used to.
John? And this is a great way to kick it off because, like, for me, this tournament, it is what it is, right? Like, we know for the league, it's a money grab, it's whatever, but it's a chance for our fans to have the experience, if they've never had it, of something as close to as an international match as they're going to get. Right? We're spoiled right now because we just had the Leagues Cup. I mean the FIFA Club World Cup in the US, right? But had we not had that, and I think having been to that, it helped me realize that you don't get to experience something like that often, right? And I'm not saying the tournament is what it is, but going into that first match on Wednesday reminded me of when my son and I went to the Club World Cup, the pre-one, the friendly that we saw against Pachuca. It's just that passion with the fans. It's having that. There's a different atmosphere about it because it's a tournament. It's like everything starts from scratch. It's scorched earth. You're starting over. It's really great. So it's a great experience, and I'm glad we have it. As much as I'm going to hate to say that, because we know the reasoning behind it is not for the right reasons, right? But it's a good experience for the fans. And to your point, that song helps create that atmosphere, right? It's like that was one of the things.
Tradition.
Yeah,
Well, not only that, to jump on what you're saying as well is I'm also in the supporter section, and I've sat in different sections of the stadium um, and not everybody knows the songs, but everybody knows that one. So it is a good, thing to put on and get everybody going, motivated, the energy in the building. Because I mean, everybody knows that song.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like it. I mean, the fan that John was talking about on Twitter was, saying instead of putting that lion on the screen and just hearing him roar like that.
Well,
I'm okay
if you
having the
can
lion
see
on the
him,
screen. Yeah,
because half the stadium can't see him because
that
we
is
only have
true.
one screen, right?
Yeah,
So the people that
I'm
are on
okay
my
with
side,
having
we're all looking like under the overhang, like they're trying to see what the heck, what
I,
everybody's
I
doing.
always I always put that on the feedbacks at the end of the season. I always put another screen on the other side. It doesn't have to be as big, but
Yeah.
put one on the other side. But yeah, I'm okay with leaving the lion on the screen. But that song coming on, it does give good energy. And to those that don't know the words of the songs during the match, at least they can have something to join in on to get it going. At least to
Yeah.
get it
I,
started.
I always thought it was like, oh, Orlando, right? Or am I wrong?
Well, that's one version of it, but before kickoff, they always just did the regular.
Seven Nation Army.
Ooh, like
Yeah,
that.
and honestly, the whole lion thing to me is cheesy and
We got
manufactured.
burned on social media, John, by some Brazilian guy that was coming to his first MLS game, and he was clowning us on that. I mean, listen, the team tries, but you know what's the beauty of trying is what works you keep, and what doesn't
Yeah.
you toss with the
And you
trash.
know what? It's a cool idea. I think it's just don't do it every single match, maybe. You know what I mean? Like do
Oh, the
that for a
first time
rivalry
I
match.
saw
Do
it,
that for like rivalry week. Not
yeah,
every, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
certain times you have to pick and choose when it makes sense because then it gets overplayed and that's when people start like, oh, here we go again. But
yeah.
I
The
do,
first time I thought it was cool because wasn't it against Atlanta we did it, I believe,
there you go. Yeah. I
the
think it
first
might have been.
time,
Yeah.
and then
Or
they skipped a couple matches, and then all of a sudden started doing it every single match.
But then you also, you know what's actually cool too? They have that video that they play where the lady with the old record player, where she walks up and it's got a record and it's got the
Yeah.
opposing team logo
Genius.
on it. She grabs it and she
Genius.
smashes the vinyl. Little things like that. I think if they just switch it up a little bit more on occasion, it'll be
You know
better.
who's a genius at those things? The Solar Bears. When you go to ice hockey games here in
Yeah,
town, they especially if they are going on a power play or they're down a goal
Yeah.
on the third quarter,
yeah,
the third period. They have like a video to pump people up. Depending
yeah,
if they're losing, they're tied, or
Hmm.
they put that type of stuff, and it works like magic. Regardless of the resort, you leave like, oh, I got my money's worth.
yeah.
And by the way, hockey team, we have a third division hockey team in town, and tickets are like $10. And I go in the Orlando City off season. Always have a great time at Solar Bears. So
And they
what
also have like what is it, dollar hot dog nights too, so you can go and
And like
start
$5
yeah,
beer.
if
for
you're cheap
subpar
like
hot
me,
dogs.
you go to Solar Bears, which are already $10, and I go, do you have veteran discounts? And I go for half, so $5. Pro
Yeah,
tip, for our veterans out there.
yeah.
All right,
But
let's move
it's
on to what happened last Wednesday when we
all
faced
right.
off.
So we Leagues Cup. So we played last Wednesday. The Orlando City Lions went against the Pumas. Um, my whole gripe with the team has been consistency. And watching the last two matches, my gripe hasn't changed. It really hasn't changed too much. We came out strong. I don't know. Schlegel's goal was in what, the first 5 minutes? I think that might have been the earliest ever Leagues Cup
Yeah.
goal history, whatever. But then it fell apart. It fell apart, and I know there's varying opinions on it, but as far as I'm concerned, we were just trying to hold on. Call it parking the bus, call it what you want to. I'm sitting there with my wife and friends, and we're watching Galese get a yellow card for time wasting, which was totally unnecessary. And you know what that gives you? That gives you the impression that you're just trying to hold on. And what happens to us in the what was it? It was like the
The
last 10
80th,
minutes.
80th minute.
Yeah, it was in the 80th minute. They tied it up. And then we go to PKs. You know what? This tournament, the one thing, you can love it or you can hate it, and we talked about it. This tournament favors teams that score. a lot of goals. I'm going to argue if you're a professional team, you need to know the environment that you're in and adapt. If this is a tournament that's about scoring goals, you need to be able to score those goals. If this is a tournament just about winning, you need to be able to win. So for us to say this is a tournament about scoring goals and we're not good at that, well then maybe we need to take a look at ourselves and say what do we need to do to be able to score when we need to. I thought of Dom Dwyer. You remember the shirt that says he scores when he wants to? We need to be able to be the team that can score when they need to, right? When they want to. So that's my take on the first game. I'll open the floor.
Well, I'm taking the opportunity since Ivy is actually quiet at this point. Um, Real quick, I didn't go to the games. I haven't been able to go to the games. Had a bunch of family situations, work, etc., etc. And I had to pick my battles. If I'm going to screw over my wife at the fact that I'm going to the Miami game the night before school starts, but for those that don't know, my wife's a school teacher. you know. So I was like, I'd rather go to that than the game on Saturday. The reality is the tournament is built for teams that score goals and that win games. I presented this on social media to people saying we're not known as prolific goal
Mhm.
scorers, and people are like, "Well, we're second on the league," and great over 30 games. Yeah, perhaps we are those people. But in a tournament where you have to consistently, night after night after night, for 3 games in a row to score tons of goals, we are not that. We're not those guys. We had the win. How we won that game, how we won this one, shoe in for the next phase. But unfortunately, we gave it away. I want to understand the logic of parking the bus so early on a tournament that once again rewards goal scoring.
And you know
And
that going in, and we know it.
right, exactly. It shouldn't be shocking anybody. What is shocking is that after 12 years of winning every single penalty shootout, we keep dropping these penalty shootouts. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like the PK by Araujo, I'm not gonna be mad at that one because after all, he was going against probably one of the best goalkeepers to ever come out of Europe. But the one by
He's the best.
Cuesta,
He's the most decorated goalkeeper in Concacaf history.
who
Plain and
is?
simple. Novice.
Oh, yeah, 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 for sure, for sure.
Plain and simple. You think about how good Tim Howard was. Novice
But but
by and away
honest,
was.
but
But
honestly, once a match like go ahead, Brian.
Atuesta like messed up. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. He hit the crossbar and it went out. And we it felt like a loss, even though technically we were walking away with a point. I mean, they're doing for those that don't know, they're doing this. If it's tied, it's just like MLS Next Pro. You go, it's like hockey. You go for the shootout, and whoever wins it gets the extra point. And that's debatable if it's great or not. The point is that you're at home. You should have won that. We didn't, right?
We
We
were
didn't.
we weren't home.
Well, yeah, technically we were not home, but
Yeah.
this is the thing now. As we go into the next phase, obviously Saturday was a much better outing. I was shocked at the team that went out there. To me, if you lose or you have a bad night and you learn from those mistakes and you improve, that listen, I will never fault you for that. I will pay my ticket, yay. But I think one of the consensus of this fan base, because I have read maybe 50 tweets, uh, posts, all sorts of things. Everybody in this fan base, far and wide through the globe, they see our good friend Kyle Smith come off the bench into the pitch. They already know. They already know what's coming. Exactly. They already know. As a matter of fact, if somebody wanted to be a savage when he comes on, they put one of those beep beep when the trucks are backing out. That's what I would do. That's what I would do if I had nothing to lose. But I'm sorry, when we, by the way, we have like a chat where we like talk to each other during games or whatnot, and I would love to go back to those messages because when he came on, the somebody sucked the air, the oxygen out of the room, wherever we were at. It was insanity. But
Hmm.
I digress for a second, and to finish, so the guys can talk about their experience. I was heartbroken, but not for nothing. Pumas came in to win it, and Pumas is facing Miami this Wednesday. And I gotta be honest with you, I hope they do it again.
Hmm. Absolutely. Any
Well,
other thoughts
you
on
said you wanted consistency. This team's consistently doing one thing at home.
being inconsistent?
No, they're being consistent. They're scoring early and then parking the bus in the second half, playing defensive, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And anybody that knows the sport, if you listen to what Poppy said after the match, you just have to shake your head. Poppy said they weren't trying to play more defensive in the second half. They just couldn't get their passes together. Then why do we have all 11 men behind the ball when the ball's at when the ball's not in the final third, our defensive third? Why aren't we pressing the ball when the ball's in the middle third of the field? Especially right as it crosses the half line. Why aren't our wingers and our striker pressing the ball? Why are we substituting Kyle Smith for arguably one of our best transfers ever, and Pasalic in the 70th minute, 20 minutes before the match is over? Why are we time wasting from the kick in the second half, and our goalie's getting a yellow card for time wasting in the 59th minute, 31 plus minutes before the match is even over? I thought the first half, I thought we deserved more out of that first half. We just couldn't finish. Like a fool, like the fan I am, thought we were going to come out the second half and it was going to be more of the same. And unfortunately, it wasn't. It was more of the same in past matches where we're up a goal and we sit back and play defensively. Whether it's the leadership on the team or whether it's Poppy saying it, somebody needs to, I'm pretty sure that's the coach's job to say, hey, guys, we need to stop doing that. Like, talk to the leaders of the team. Hey, we need to be, more proactive in the second half when we're up a goal and try to get a second and third goal into the back of the net to put the game away. That's my thoughts on it without getting too irritated.
Misael, any thoughts, man, that you want to add?
Not much. I mean, you guys said it all. I agree with you guys. I thought, to give them credit. I felt like they made good second half adjustments, Pumas, and they came out a totally different team than they were in the first half. I'm still having nightmares of that number 28 guy. I don't know what his name is, but that guy was lighting up the midfield. That guy was directing traffic. That guy destroyed us.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, was the game winnable for us? Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that is the frustrating part. It was a winnable match. So it's like, do it. Just it was frustrating. It was frustrating to watch because although Oscar said what he said, that he wasn't part, it sure felt like it. If you were watching, if you were there, it really felt like we were. And then when, to David's point, when we see Kyle Smith come out, and then it's like, all right, we're done. We're trying to hold on. And that's not what we're about, you know. So moving on from this match, we went on this past Saturday where there was a doubleheader. I did not stay because although I love this team and I love the sport, I love sleep even that much more. So I was not about to watch a match that started at 9. I did watch it from my couch at home, nice and comfortable because it was.
You may have made it home before kickoff. Even it took so
I
long.
did. Yeah, I did. Literally, we got to watch the whole thing. So that was an interesting match because I saw a different team come out. It was a different team come out. The lineup was different. Everything was different. And I really didn't know what to expect. We scored early. People got super excited. And I'm just thinking to myself, people, did you watch the game last Wednesday? Do you not know what happened last Wednesday? Why are you all screaming in excitement? I'm like, don't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Angulo goal, by the way.
Yeah, it was he was first, his first of the year, and first in the League's Cup in the ninth minute, which was almost tied for as fast as um,
That was his second of the year, right?
Yeah,
First,
was it
yeah.
his
Yeah, I
first?
think it was his
I
second.
thought he scored one in the league, but
Yeah, he
Okay,
scored one in the league, I think.
okay.
well,
that was his first goal of the season in all
oh, okay,
competitions.
great. Martin Ojeda putting himself already in the discussion for MVP of the league. Unfortunately, he's not gonna get it. Messi's gonna get it because, well,
Because of his
12-year
Messi.
olds and people with feeble mind attitudes are gonna vote for that. But Martin Ojeda, without the name recognition, the guy is just working his way into leaving a legend out of Orlando. Fantastic. If we're gonna criticize players, we're gonna when they do bad, when they do good, we also have to praise them. Angulo, fantastic football IQ. He read it. He placed himself in a position to score. Fantastic bend to the far post. Boom. It's 1-0, and then after that, the goal for Martin Ojeda, insane, insane. But the goal of the night, you have to say it was the one by Marco Pasalic on a Alex Freeman assist.
Mhm.
By the way, Alex Freeman, I keep saying Alex Freeman, we are yet to see the best of him. We are yet to see. We need to see the Alex Freeman that was torching MLS Next Pro. A lot of people don't know what I'm talking about because many people don't show up to the games. They don't watch them. But those of us that last year, I believe John and Ahmed, we all went at the same time. And it was a win. I can't remember who we played. We played Miami, and
Was it
Alex
the
Freeman.
Miami match?
Yeah, it was a Miami match where Alex Freeman could not be contained. They had a hard time putting him back in the cage after that game. The man was on a rampage, and I remember telling one of you guys because we actually have a picture. I was there with my kids, and Amir was with his son, and obviously Bear was there. And I remember turning. I think it was Ahmed that I said, "This guy is going somewhere," and I just don't understand why he's still playing here. And obviously, the football gods heard me, and we're where we are. But Alex Freeman, my goodness! And by the way, I want to play a drinking game. And anytime an announcer mentions that Alex Freeman's dad
Don't take
won
the
the
bait.
Super
No,
Bowl,
no, we don't want to. The hospitalization for alcohol poisoning at Orlando at ORMC will skyrocket because of that.
skyrocket, brother. I'm telling you. In fact, if that is not a trivia question, the next time they have trivia night for Orlando City, I don't know what is.
who's
Because if it's
who's
in
Orlando?
Spanish,
Which
English,
Orlando
French,
City player's
whatever,
father?
they're always listen. I actually watched a video on YouTube of these guys in Spain analyzing the MLS or whatever, and I was like, oh, cool. Let me see what a different perspective. And they were like, oh, by the way, Alex Freeman, his dad won the Super Bowl. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
And David
It's
turns off the
ridiculous.
channel.
Ridiculous.
It's crazy, man.
Go ahead, Miss Ao.
Not much yet. Totally, like Ahmed said, totally different game than Wednesday. For a minute there, like David said in our chat, it was a carbon copy. And then all of a sudden, they put their foot on the gas and changed it. One of my favorite parts of the game was actually the fight in the end.
I was just about to say, what about the ending?
And
We haven't
I
talked
give
about that yet.
I give the MVP award to Schlegel jumping on Janssen and protecting him when everybody wanted, like,
It
as
was like
much.
shielding the man with his body.
Yeah, like I love it because I was like, as much as sometimes Schlegel gets on our nerves here on this podcast, he got the MVP for me on that one. He jumped on him so fast, like
The fact,
a mother protecting their son or something.
bro, the fact that
Um,
Rodrigo Schlegel was the voice of reason,
Tells you
calm
something.
and collected. That
this
tells
guy
you
was
how
letting
much.
everything go. It was nuts. I mean, there was even stuff that I think we needed to get yellows for, and he was just letting everything go. It
I
was kind of wild.
Yeah. What
Yeah, go
got
ahead.
me about that whole thing is I don't understand how he did just not take out those red cards right then and there.
He's not
Because like
supposed to. He's supposed to let it progress and then.
because for me, from a safety standpoint, he needed to get those two players. The sooner he gets them off of the pitch, the safer everybody is. Because at that point, it's like if there's the longer they're standing there and the longer he's thinking about it and he's listening, it's like it's just escalating. That's why Ojeda got that scratch on his face, which is like very Anakin Skywalker-ish. We talked about that,
He
right?
couldn't have lost
How,
an eye.
how the guy that did that to him didn't get even a card?
Yes,
Yeah, he didn't
thank
get
you.
not even a yellow or nothing.
Like what was that? Like how the
I
hell
don't
do
know.
you do that and not get anything? So I was
Yeah.
disappointed in that because like I'm thinking the ref let them play, but I feel like he lost control.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Because
he
there's a
definitely.
difference
Yellow
between
card.
letting them play and letting
Yellow
them go
card.
and letting them play their game. You don't want somebody to change the flow of the match, but this guy just let it get overboard. And that's what he dealt with. So at that point, dude, just you'd have to be watching another match to not know that was going to be a red.
Yep.
I don't know. But I don't know
Well,
why.
It's
overall,
amazing to me.
the thing that we've always said about Angulo that's always drove me crazy is how he gets the ball and he just proceeds to play with it. Try to step over, juke somebody, and then he's stuck because there's three guys around him.
Uh-huh.
Somebody must have talked to him and told him to keep it more simple. Because if you watched all of the assists that he's had recently and then the goal that he had on Saturday, those are all one or two touches and it left his foot. The goal Saturday, he takes one touch off of Janssen's press and he puts it into the back of the net. The assists against Columbus, he took one or two touches, centered it, gets the assist. So, I'm hoping it took him being benched and the fan base coming down on him. I'm not saying he's, a world beater by any means, but I hope he's kind of turned the corner to be the player that all of us was hoping he would be when he signed officially for us. Because when he was on loan, this is what he showed, is that he had this ability to, pick up an assist or two, every couple of matches or pick up a goal every couple of matches. Not what he had been showing really the last, better part of the last two seasons. And then, Poppy with the subs, when Pasalic and Freeman came on, I leaned over to my buddy and said, these two is going to eat Atlas's left side up, because you saw what Nico and Dagger Dan were doing. Marco and Freeman have such an understanding with each other of where each other's going to be. They're, just the flow that they play with. I mean, look at the pass leading up to the goal that Marco gave for Freeman. I mean, that he put that ball 30 yards ahead of him. And then what was it? 3 minutes, not even 3 minutes later is when that happens. The goal happens. And yeah, I mean, the ref, going back to the fight, the ref definitely should have pulled the cards out earlier both ways. He lost lost control of the match. But I feel he started first losing control of the match was in the first half, when that the same player that ended up getting sent off cut Janssen off, flopped trying to get Janssen sent off instead of just going for the goal, because Apple TV didn't do a good job of showing it, and I was as close to straight behind center behind it as you could be. You see him turn around, see where Janssen is, change his path to away from the ball, and then slow down or stop right in front of Janssen.
Oh, I gotta watch that again. I didn't notice that.
They don't show it on Apple TV. It's terrible on Apple TV. I tried seeing it. They don't show it, in real time or in the replay. They don't capture it, but you literally see him turn behind, reroute. They show a little bit of the reroute, Don't get but they don't really you don't really see the look over the shoulder. And good call on the ref there, but that to me that should have been an instant yellow card on the Atlas player for simulation, because he went away from the ball. He was not making a play on the ball, and tripped Johnson up, trying to get Johnson sent off. But that's why I think in my opinion, I think the way that the sport is played in Mexico, as far as like from a style wise, is a beautiful way to play it. But the way they approach the game is just terrible. It's who can get they play the who can get fouled, who can flop to make them to get the most fouls called for them, and who can get sent off first or win a penalty first to try and win the game. And to me, it's just despicable. The national team does it. Liga MX does it, and it's not the way the sport's supposed to be able to be played. I absolutely hate it. So it's always good to which it's only the club's second time in history beating a team from Liga MX, Liga MX. We officially have a 500 record against them. And then one thing I do want to bring up about the match is kind of a gripe on Orlando City's security team, who needs to understand that what banter is inside of our sport. Me and my buddy got yelled at doing the same exact thing we do every match. This time we were provoked. There were Atlas fans sitting relatively close to us on the side. When the fight happened, they were mocking us. So in turn, we started telling them to, I'll keep it PG, to shut up and sit down. And that's all we were saying, and for some reason, Orlando City felt it necessary. Now, they did get somebody from Orlando City over near them, but there was also somebody standing right next to us. When they started up again, we started up again. And the guy comes over and talks to us and, asks why we're causing trouble and this and that and the other. And I said, well, if you weren't looking for trouble, you wouldn't find it, because we were doing the same exact thing we do every single match. I'm always in, David and Ahmed, and even Misael, even though you've never seen exactly where I stand on the wall, I'm always in the same general location, right there on the far, as you face the wall, the far left side, right near where the lower entryway is, and nothing different than we do any other match. And for some reason on Saturday they had an issue with it. Learn what banter is. If we cross paths with those guys on the terraces, we would have just went on our merry way. Nothing would maybe a couple words would have been said, but it's just banter. It's all in good fun, and it's nothing.
And John, that's worldwide. If you guys, go to my social media, you see that I shared 2 of the 3 goals that Stevenage scored this weekend. They won, by the way. Some people wanted Blackpool to win, but that's life. But anyways,
To get to my point of it, David, not to cut you off. If you really have an issue with it, do what every other country in the world does, and make away fans and away supporters be in the designated away section, not intermingled with other Orlando City fans. Because it wasn't just us in the wall doing it. There were also people in the seats giving it back to them too. So if you guys have such a problem with it, every other country makes away fans go through a specific gate, sit.
Yeah, but they want to sell seats. They want to sell seats, dude.
They'll still sell them, especially with fans from Mexico. Their fans are rabid, and the other thing is on Wednesday they let people hang Puma's flag over one of the guardrails, and it's like, this is our stadium. If one of our fans tried to do that in a stadium, in Pumas' stadium, they'd be leaving in an ambulance. I'm not endorsing violence whatsoever, but it's just a matter of fact. That's our stadium, whether it's officially in a home game or not. That's our stadium. Nobody does that in our stadium. Have your flag, wrap it around you, wave it up and down, but don't hang it on the stadium. That's one of the most disrespectful things I think anybody can do. It's no different in college football when you see the the away team come out after they win and plant the flag in the on the 50-yard line. It's
Mhm.
disrespectful, whether it's meant to be disrespectful by that fan or not. But they need to be told, which I think they were, because I tweeted Jared Dillon, and not even 5 minutes later, they I saw somebody over there talking to him and made them remove it. Kind of told them they had to hold it. So it's
In football culture, our security needs to learn it. What I was going with my comment is, on those videos that I posted, you see an 8-year-old flipping the players and cursing them out, and in another one, two pensioners doing the same thing. Like this is just part of the culture. One thing is, physically punching somebody in her, which we don't condone that behavior here. But at the same time, people are gonna say things. It's just like the people that go on social media saying, "Oh, I don't go to Orlando City games anymore because the people curse." It's live sports, for the love of God. It's live sports. And I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you what. You're gonna regulate my speech when you pay for my ticket. And this is gonna sound very pretentious. Listen, I'm a person of faith. I go to service every week. I'm a father, and take care of my kids. But you know what? If I see a player I don't like, or I see a play that I don't like, or I see a ref doing something that I feel is unjust, I'm gonna let him know. And perhaps it's not safe for the little ears. It's not Z. What is it? Z88.3
Yeah,
update. It's not.
not safe for little ears.
The
Yeah,
thing,
it's not
the
saying.
thing
I'm
is, too,
telling
when
you.
people say that about
Safe for little
sporting
ears.
events in general, is it's like, what do you think your kids are hearing at school every day?
Yeah.
Way worse
Yeah,
than
that's
probably
a
what
whole
we're
other
seeing
conversation, man.
at the stadium.
Uh,
And it's
John,
just,
your audio just got really muffled, or is it just me, guys?
Yeah, it sounds muffled.
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
John.
give me one
So,
second.
Okay.
okay. Well, let's read the comments that we have while John figures that out.
Yeah, I'll plop them up for you, Misael.
Ray, how you doing, Ray? Ray says bad thing about red cards: Miami benefits most. Um, Two games were confusing to me. First game was frustrating and made it difficult to enjoy lead in the second game. And I guess
Right,
he
because
was trying to
you're
say red
expecting
cards.
the bottom to fall off.
Yeah,
And I guess he meant to say red cards help Nashville, not Miami.
yeah,
is that
yeah.
better, guys?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay,
100%,
perfect.
hundred
But yeah,
percent.
what I was saying, in case you guys didn't hear it, is what do you think the kids are
Oh yeah,
hearing at school every day? I
absolutely.
mean, I'm not, saying cursing's good or bad, but it happens in life. It's happened since speech was made, especially in a competitive environment. It was like, I was talking to my mom the other day about about cursing and obviously having Barrett, who goes to almost every home match. And, I told her plain and simple. I said, you don't want to know in high school what I was saying to the guys on the soccer and basketball court, soccer field and basketball court. It was way worse than anything Barrett hears on the,
For sure.
at the soccer stadium. It's basically four basic cuss words you hear. We're not going to say them on the show, but four basic cuss words you hear in the stadium. And, you just have to be a parent and explain to your kids that's at the stadium, and explain to them how to use it. They're going to learn how to use it eventually. They're going to learn bad words anyway, but you
I'd
know
rather they learn them at the stadium.
or learn how to use them from you, because what are you going to do at a family dinner, at Thanksgiving or Christmas dinners, or a dinner, family dinner, and the kid just blurts out a curse word because he heard it, the other day at school and thought it was funny.
Well, after I got out of the Navy, it took me a full year to like cleanse my palate because I used to my first job was at the airport on the private airplane side on off of Trayport Drive. And man, I tell you, I couldn't say anything 3 words without saying "f this, f that," and all sorts of embarrassing things. And it's what it is. I gotta say, you gotta let people be. If live sports is not your thing, stay home, watch it on TV. That's cool. All I gotta say is, to me, it's what makes live sports so great. It's just the banter, the yelling and the screaming, and the collective moaning and elation when we score. You can't. It doesn't. It's not anything better. That's why, my thing with accounts like Tactical Manager, that they crap on MLS and they crap on all this. But the reality is that live sports, you cannot overcome that. I don't care if you bring back from the dead Pele and Maradona and you put them on the pitch with Messi and Ronaldo, it doesn't matter. Live sports, even if, and we learned that as we saw this past week, the championship for USL League Two, a team out of Vermont, they packed their house with 10,000 people. Anybody that knows, that has been to Vermont, as I have, know that that's probably one of the most rural states in the union. Uh, the zero diversity, and for our sport to be showcasing in that manner with that many people, that much passion, that tells you that live sports, especially live football, will never be overcome, will never be better than TV. I don't care who's playing on TV. Live sports is where it's at. So, with that said, and we have nothing to be ashamed of. Our atmosphere, I feel, is one of the best out there in MLS. We may not be the best, but it's a lot of fun. It's money well spent. That's why I always tell people that have not given us a chance because they rather watch the best of the world on TV. It's like, go and you tell me. I have told the story 1,000 times, and this is 1,001. My surgeon, who is a huge Newcastle guy, had avoided going to Orlando City since 2011. He's like, oh well, I was told it was bad. I was told, here the key word, and I told him, I said, go to a game and you tell me which game he chooses. He goes to our game against Columbus in the playoffs where we laid an egg. We didn't even score a goal, but he came back after that. He's like, I just love like the energy, the passion. You don't get that from TV,
Nope.
guys. That's how it is. If people want to crap over our league, go experience it, and if you don't like it, that's perfectly fine. But don't take the word of people that make money and fame on social media and basically crapping on the league, because our league is never gonna be better if you don't support it with your time and your money. And yes, obviously there's a promotion, relegation, et cetera. We can be here till the cows come home about that. But the fact of the matter is, if you don't support your local club, we're going nowhere. I brought it up last week. More camp out of the National League in England disappearing. 105 years of history thrown out the door because of mismanagement and a bunch of other things. We're lucky to have the football that we have here in the States. And if you're living in Orlando or in Orange County or in Central Florida, Orlando is a fantastic opportunity to experience the beautiful game. Give us a chance. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, I want to hear your guys' thoughts, but let me back up. I did stay late to hate watch Atlanta, and they really let the security go as to where in the supporter section, the middle two rows, the first eight basically, or middle two sections, first eight rows are during our matches are official supporter groups only. Obviously, I'm not a member of one. Refuse to be a member of one. But when our match was over and the Atlanta match was starting, they did away with that. So if you guys watch the penalty that Pumas had, you can see me and my buddy right above the goal, and we were giving Guzan about as hard a time as we could
You mean
give him.
Batman?
Batman.
Yeah. So, and it's funny if you watch a lot of the stuff that the Atlanta admins posted was without sound for a reason, because it was primarily
There you go.
Pumas and Orlando City
But by
fans.
the way, they played in our stadium because they got kicked out of their home, quote unquote, to have 8,000 people go to a friendly EPL friendly.
Yeah.
How embarrassing is that?
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's it. That's what happens, baby. Though, like I said, like we have said on our social media, if your fan base cannot stick around after the 60th minute when you're losing, don't come lecturing us about loyalty, championships, winning, or any of that. I'm sorry, don't. You claim you have a stadium, you don't. You rent. you rent. You're the side piece that when Reddy's due, they gotta kick you out to pay the bills.
Wow.
So moving on, we do have a
Yeah.
game on
Well,
Wednesday.
yeah,
Or did
we
you
have a
have
game
more?
on Wednesday where we are playing Necaxa, and we are currently tied for fourth place. So for this tournament, the top four teams move forward. We are tied along with five other teams, so there's a six-way tie for fourth place. So needless to say, not only do we need a win, but we need a win and bring those in and score those goals if that's what we choose to do.
It's coming.
Um, you know, for
Right.
me, neither here nor there. It is what it is. I personally would prefer to focus more on the enemy at hand on the following Saturday. So we have two
Sunday.
matches in the next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 days, within 4 days of one another. Wednesday, we meet Necaxa, and then Sunday,
Sunday.
the day
Sunday night.
before we go back to school. So get all your school stuff ready before you leave for the match. I already told my son he's getting his stuff together because when he gets home, there's not going to be time. We kick off
Straight
at
to
8
bed.
p.m.
You
against.
got that first. You got that first outfit ready.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta have that first outfit.
Everything's got to be ready, man. And, so we have two matches. I mean, as far as Leagues Cup goes, I haven't paid much attention to Necaxa. But honestly, they're the ones who they have that Netflix special on, not Netflix, sorry, Hulu.
Yeah, the
Because
Hulu.
I
The
can't think of
owners
her.
of Wrexham bought
Yeah, them along with
Even
Eva
Longoria.
Longoria.
Longoria. Thank you.
My goodness,
So
that
they're-
woman just keeps getting better looking with age.
Yeah,
It's wine. She's like
no
wine.
comment. So yeah, it's so we play them on Wednesday. I hope for a good performance. If we do and move forward, I'm grateful. If we don't, I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it. I'm looking forward to Saturday when we take on a Sunday. I keep saying
Sunday.
Saturday. Sunday when we take
Saturday's
on.
Pride.
Huh?
Saturday is Pride.
Oh, are they? Okay, what time? Saturday's Pride at what time?
7:30.
7:30. Who are they playing?
Racing Louisville.
All right. So we got.
Oh, by the way, if Miami or Orlando or both move on to the next stage of Leagues Cup, I believe that game may be moved.
No way. Are you serious?
I think so because I think the next stage is gonna be played alongside with the season.
Oof.
So unless we're playing in the middle of the week, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
Somebody
that makes
correct
sense.
me on that.
I think I do hear something about that.
Oof, that would be intense. That would
And
piss off a lot of people
someone's
who are
gonna get
planning on
injured.
going. Oh my god.
Especially the guys that are here on vacation and they thought that we're gonna catch a little bit of Orlando City. Well,
Yeah.
there you go. Personally, because we're running out of time. So personally, I think Wednesday, all balls to the wall. Just go for it. If because winning is not enough, it has to be winning plus 3
Yeah.
goals or more, and pray that somebody else in our group drops points. So we'll see how that goes. If we like Ahmed said, if we win it, great. If we don't move on, whatever. If we leave the tournament with a win, I think it will do a lot of wonders for us for our
Yeah.
psyche. And as far as Miami, you guys know what I think. Smash them and let them know, that what happened in their house is just the beginning of a lot of pain, a lot of heartache. Because at the end of the day, we might cross paths in the playoffs, and it's time to put an end to this nonsense that Miami is good or whatever just because they have a bunch of old men there. We have young talented players, and my money's on the boys in purple.
So
Absolutely.
phase 2 of the League's Cup doesn't start until August 19th.
Okay.
So our match would not be our match with Miami wouldn't be moved. It would be the next weekend's match. Could potentially be moved. But yeah, I mean Wednesday. I really hope that I hope we win, but I hope we don't score enough. to move on because we don't need that extra distraction. Mainly because I don't see this team being able to consistently beat teams from Liga MX. We've only done it twice in 10 attempts now.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't see us winning Leagues Cup or at least getting to the top, finishing in the top three. Um, and I really don't think it benefits the club as far as the season goes. We still got 9 games, 8 games, something like that left, including Sunday's match against Miami. And I really think that that needs to be our focus, not that and another tournament. I feel like if we put together a good stretch of matches that we can move up the table and potentially finish in third or fourth spot. And that all starts Sunday when we do play Miami. Obviously, the big ticket item for Miami isn't playing. We discussed that earlier in the show. He's just plain and simple too scared to face Orlando City. Beckham's trying to shield him because of what happened when Beckham had the suite next to the wall. We let him have it, and I know that offended him because we didn't win gracefully or however he said it against Vancouver or Minnesota, whoever that was. And as far as Sunday goes, I hope we can score goals, because we know that Miami likes to sit on the ball and soak up, take the possession away from the match. But, I've said it all season. I said it in the preseason. They can sign whoever they want until they get some defenders. They may win some matches, but they'll never do anything, worth noting. Because they may have the weakest defense they've had since Messi's been with them. As much as we like to hate on Yedlin as Orlando City fans, he was, a quality fullback for them. They got rid of him to make room for somebody else. Their center backs are a joke. They're on their third goalkeeper. So I think if we do what we did last time against them and make the most out of the possession we do have, and
What happened to what is it, Colander, the guy they had?
he's been injured all year.
Sorry, John. What was that again?
He's been injured. Then their backup goalie got injured, and they're now on their third. So I think if we take advantage of the possession we do have, when we attack with purpose, and put 2 or 3 goals past them like we did last time, they don't have a shot. We all know, even when Messi's on the field, that they give it a solid 20 to 30 minutes, and if you can withhold that 20 to 30 minute rush, you have a good chance of winning the match. And I think this team can do that. They don't really, the only player on that team that really scares me on an attack is Messi himself, but he's not going to be there. So, the only other guy they had last year that scared me was their striker who they sold to, was it New England, I think.
Yeah.
And, so they don't have anybody. And, I really like our chances Sunday. We showed that we can hang with them when they're full strength. I feel that there's no reason we can't come away with a win Sunday. We haven't beat them at home in a while. I feel like it's been draws mainly the last couple times we played them at home, and be a good way to end the week.
Any word on Atuesta's knock?
Have not seen anything.
I wonder if he'll be available for Sunday.
I think they rest him on Wednesday for Sunday.
I hope so. I hope we rest everybody. Sacrifice the game on Wednesday. Not that I want to sacrifice it, but I mean, do whatever you need to win that game on Sunday. Is my thought.
In front of Deadpool?
Huh?
In front of Deadpool? I wonder if he'll be there. I wonder if they're filming.
He's too busy with Rex.
They're probably filming that for the show, by the way.
Probably.
Yeah, I wonder if they're filming though. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Nice.
I'm hoping we make the cut.
Yeah, I mean, it will be a double for me because already Stevenage made the show last year. So there you have it. But by the way, before we go, want to thank everybody that has been supporting us. Our last show on audio surpassed our expectations, so thank you guys for that. Thank you for that, guys. We have 35 people we were at 38 at one point that are watching us live. We appreciate that, and everybody that want to follow us on social media. I'm gonna put the banner there. So if you're watching us, you can follow us basically on every social media known to man, and we're on audio on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So go ahead and support us. I know a lot of people are like, "Hey, man, I can't make it. It's too late." Blah blah. It does. It's okay. We are always. You can watch this later on, or you can listen to us. Give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up, whatever it is that whatever platform that helps us out. Put the word out. Again, we are. If you want tactics, you want insider info, we're not your show. We're just four friends that love Orlando City and want to talk about it. And if you enjoy the type of banter, that type of combo, we're the show for you. We're the show for dudes that love football. Okay, football for dudes that love football. That's basically what we're about. So thank you very much for everybody that joined us tonight. And they have been putting up with my situation. It's not the best with little Ivy over here, which of course now she's quiet, but in the moments where I wanted to show my passion and my knowledge, she's screaming her guts out. So, guys, final words for everybody, and that way we can get out of here. And in the words of, I saw a comment here. I'm gonna put it up. Our good friend Ray, just
Just
win,
win,
baby.
baby. Absolutely.
Go ahead, guys.
Absolutely, man. 3 points. 3 points and 3 points. That's all.
Yeah, just win. I would like to win on Wednesday. See what happens. Collect a little extra money for the team, even though I know it's for a professional team it's probably peanuts, but maybe we can get another player
Another
from.
sad one. Another sad one.
Maybe we can sign another signee like we just did, and hopefully we make the cut on the show. And definitely, just like John said, I think we can beat Miami with no Messi there. Obviously, it's a big difference, and hopefully Atuesta they rest him for that. And happy birthday, Ivy.
Thank you, brother.
John, anything, John?
Just like to see a move or two before the transfer window closes. Kind of listening to you guys and then scrolling through X because Portland just made a £7 million deal. Toronto just made an £8 million deal. LAFC just signed somebody else.
Oh my gosh.
And our only move has been a bench player from Toronto, who's one of the worst teams in the East. So,
It's coming, John. It's coming. It's coming.
Listen,
Be a
we're gonna
super
say goodbye
duper
on this
signing,
show.
John.
We're gonna say goodbye on this show by playing that song "In the Eyes of an Angel."
It's coming.
Oh, God. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching. So, we are going to leave you the only way we know how, reminding you that football is played on grass, not on paper, that football is cruel and unpredictable, that football is a pound of talent and an ounce of luck. And if you have not cried for joy or anger over football, have you ever really footballed? For the whole crew, including Ivy, the birthday girl, may God bless you. And as always, vamos,
Orlando.
Orlando!